I'm here tonight to bring and talk again about the importance of lack of limitations. I spent time in my mind and spent time connecting with greater sources of power. Always remember, the source can guide the way, and the more you connect to that source, Hi, everyone. I'm Caitlin De Leon. I am a student of Rachel's, and I am just completing Trance Channel Level 4. Our last assignment for our certification is to channel live. I'd like to bring in Leonardo da Vinci to channel him. Anyway, let's go for it. I've already set up protection for those that are watching here with me tonight. Okay, well, I'm just going to focus in here. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. I always enjoy meeting with those who are learners and who are practitioners in putting what they learn into action. I am here to speak about my life as it was, the self that I knew and you know of me on Earth, the person that was born in the 1400s. I've lived many lives since then and have conducted many experiments and explorations. A primary part of my life here on Earth as Leonardo da Vinci was to not be bound by limitations. I grew up in a big family, but I was also alone in much of what I did as I spent time in my mind and spent time connecting with greater sources of power, greater sources of inspiration that served as the light and the knowledge that I brought to my artwork, my science work, and the different inventions and experiments that I conducted. My life was an example of finding your own path, that there was not a single point of focus, as some would know that I accomplished more than many did at the time. I did not have to go through traditional routes and traditional steps to be able to do that. Just as you do not know, any limitations of those that are on Earth are placed either on themselves or learned. These are not truths, as you are high vibrating being capable of manifesting and bringing in much of what you envision and you think and you know into reality and into things that you can tangibly see to show to others. Sometimes in your life, this will be very important, as that is how to tell the story of the light and of the different beings that you connect with. When I was born, life on Earth was much different than it is now, yet there are still so many similarities. You would think in many hundreds of years that Earth would feel so much different. And it is in some ways. And there are many people doing deep light work, following a path to 5D and ascension and connecting to their spiritual selves. We did have that even in my day. It was something that was not spoken of that often or was not necessarily embraced like it is now. However, there is so much more in bringing this to everyday conversations and everyday living, that you can live the light path, live the spiritual work, and you do not have to go about your day in changing between a 3D and 5D existence. I think I'm here tonight to bring and talk again about the importance of lack of limitations. I did not live an environment or create an environment in my mind of judgment or stress in bringing my manifestations to life. They flowed and they came easily to me because I allowed them to do so. It's something that I want to share with you, as I believe this can really help a lot of you in your path. Always remember, the source can guide the way. And the more you connect to that source and focus on those energies, the more that it comes into your life and the more it becomes a natural way of your existence. It was very interesting during my life to see the pureness of nature, the pureness of people, as many were figuring out the next phases of existence and how to move the population and the planet forward with only having what we knew at the time, what was available, in trying to understand what it is as our mission. And there were several other light workers like myself that had to pave a way forward in teaching future generations in society about getting to reconnected to a higher source. This is conversation that is an ongoing conversation that can last and stand the test of time. There is not a boundary around the time. I believe we are at a time now where you can do much more than you could ever have imagined. Find your muse. It doesn't have to be a person. Your muse can be anything in this world or other worlds. I worked with many galactical beings, especially in speaking the language of sacred geometry and translating the codes and the information that lives here on Earth is like a very complicated map. But that map can be accessed by unlocking your third eye and connecting your nerve network to the patterns is the best way I can describe it. And you will know that as when you activate this, you feel in the flow of life, and you begin to create. I have revisited many times. As for now, I am on a separate plane, and I am creating and manifesting here. What I love so much about non-Earth existence is I'm able to shape-shift into many different forms. Well, that is the message that I have for you today. And I thank you for creating this opportunity to connect and be able to talk again with those on Earth. Go forward in peace. All right. Well, that was really interesting. Well, that was him. Reach out to me anytime if you have a question about my sessions or what I have to offer, but also I'd love to be a resource if you want to ask about any of the Sound Waves Heal classes. I've taken many of them and have really enjoyed it, made a lot of friends in the tag group for those of you that are watching this in 5D and are not members in the tag team. So reach out to me on Facebook. I put my email in the description. Hopefully that showed up. If not, I'll drop a comment later. Thanks so much.